A very good morning to our Make in India Mittelstand members and friends in Germany, and good afternoon to our participants joining from India. Thank you for joining us today for the informative webinar, National Industrial Corridor Development Corporation, Pioneering India's Industrial Revolution with Smart Cities, being organized under the Make in India Mittelstand program in association with the National Industrial Corridor Development Corporation, or short NICDC, the Indo-German Chamber of Commerce, and Rödl & Partner. Rödl & Partner is a knowledge partner for the MIIM program, and I am Maya Yadu, the MIIM project coordinator for Rödl & Partner in Pune, India, and I will take you through the session today. Before we continue the session, let me briefly explain the technical side of our program. The following functions are available to you. In the upper right corner of your screen, you will find the control panel. Here, you can adjust the audio settings and choose, for example, between your headset or the computer audio. Please note that as a participant, you are muted by default. A bit further down the dashboard, you will find the question panel. We will request the attendees to please post their questions in the question section, and we will take these up in the last leg of the webinar during the Q&A. Now allow me to very briefly introduce the Make in India Mittelstand program to you. MIIM is an initiative of the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, DPIT, and the Embassy of India in Berlin. MIIM provides a platform that integrates a wide range of services for German Mittelstand companies and family-owned enterprises. It is part of the Make in India initiative of the Indian government and is a program designed to facilitate investment, foster innovation, enhance skill development, protect intellectual property, and build best-in-class manufacturing infrastructure. The MIIM program offers all support services like strategy consulting, M&A, operational market entry support, tax and legal support, financial services, project financing, location services, technology collaboration, and facilitation of approvals from central and state government agencies under a single umbrella. Part of the program is today's webinar, which will explore the transformative potential of NICDC's pioneering initiatives in developing smart cities and industrial hubs across India. Now, before we delve into our main agenda, it is my honor to introduce our esteemed guest, His Excellency Ajit Gupte, the Ambassador of India to Germany. We are privileged to have him with us today to deliver a special address. Allow me to very briefly introduce our esteemed special guest for this webinar. His Excellency Mr. Ajit Gupte joined the Indian Foreign Service in 1991. He was Deputy Chief of Mission in the Embassy of India, Berlin, from 2010 to 2014. Mr. Gupte served as Ambassador of India to Denmark from September 2017 to March 2021, and as Indian Ambassador to the Arab Republic of Egypt from March 2021 to October 2024. He assumed charge as Ambassador of India to Germany on 13th of October 2024. And without further ado, I'd like to hand over the virtual mic to His Excellency.
Well, dear friends, it is a pleasure for me to be present here today on the occasion of the seminar organized together with the National Industrial Corridor Development Corporation with the theme Pioneering India's Industrial Revolution with Smart Cities. Guten Tag. As one of the fastest growing large economies in the world, India is not just a market, but a land of a billion opportunities. India has been one of the fastest growing large economies in the world for the last few years, and it is projected to grow at around 7% per annum over the next few years. Friends, India is poised to emerge as the third largest economy in the world by 2030. But don't be surprised if this happens before. In fact, we are likely to overtake Japan as the fourth largest economy either this year or the latest by next year. The vast Indian middle class and a very sizable upper class offers infinite opportunities to foreign investors and in particular to German companies. Germany has an excellent brand name in India, and its products are associated with high quality, reliability, and durability. German products do not need much marketing, and I would encourage German companies to shed their inhibitions and look at the Indian market more actively. India is today the most populous country with a population of 1.40 billion, that is 1400 million, almost 3 times the size of all of Europe. However, it is not a homogeneous market. It is a vast country with diverse consumer tastes in different states and provinces, and it often needs a differentiated approach. We are one of the youngest countries in the world with an average age of 28 years, and most of the people in India have about 30 years of working life ahead of them. More than 50% of India's population is less than 25 years old. So you can imagine that there is a lot of growth ahead of India. The Indian middle class is expanding very rapidly. We have made remarkable progress in reducing poverty. And the people in India are highly aspirational and ambitious. You will find that the Indians by nature are also tech savvy. Even the poorest of Indians, even those who are perhaps have limited literacy, are quite adept at using mobile phones and other electronic gizmos. The demand for products across a vast range which Germany produces will increase. The demand ranges from automobiles to consumer goods, food products, medical insurance, different types of insurance, and even luxury goods. The appetite for luxury goods is also expected to increase manyfold in the next few years as more and more Indians become prosperous. The time to enter the Indian market now is now, rather than later. Those German companies who have entered India a few decades ago have established themselves very well and are expanding very rapidly. Friends, in the last few years, the government of India, together with the state governments, have made very conscious and deliberate efforts to make India an investor-friendly place. We have undertaken numerous reforms, such as the goods and services tax. This has simplified the taxation system through an interlinked process. We've also undertaken significant reforms in labor laws and streamlined the compliance requirements. The ease of doing business in India has steadily increased. India has consistently improved in global rankings for business climate and is one of the most attractive destinations for foreign investment. A critical advantage that India possesses is its vast and highly skilled workforce. Almost everyone speaks English. The laws and regulations are in English, which are easy to understand for prospective foreign investors. If there is need for judicial recourse, again, the courts use English. Moreover, most of the Indians who could join foreign companies are fluent in English, and we have a very large pool. For example, we have nearly 1.5 million engineers who are graduating from universities annually. The workforce is not only well educated, they are willing to work hard, they're willing to work long hours, but they are also technologically adept, and the wages are very competitive. For German companies looking to set up new operations or expand their existing operations while maintaining high standards of quality, India provides an invaluable resource base. In fact, what we find is that most of the large German companies have already set up very large IT centers or global capability centers in India. And they are harnessing India's talent by utilizing Indian manpower to develop the latest products and services out of India. Geographically, India occupies a very strategic location as it is located midway between West Asia and Southeast Asia. Many of the critical maritime corridors pass very close to India. And India can be a gateway to other markets in Southeast Asia, West Asia, and even Africa. Companies which have based themselves in India can do so near various ports and have an export-led strategy. We have vastly reduced our turnaround time in ports. We have improved the efficiency of our ports and shipping. And I would encourage German companies to also look at India as a manufacturing hub for their exports, in addition to exploring the vast Indian domestic market. India today is developing cutting-edge technologies in AI, quantum computing, green hydrogen, etc. We are also effectively using IoT, data analytics, and in the renewable energy, we have made remarkable progress with a total installed capacity of nearly 214 gigawatts. Friends, to enable the fast-track development of manufacturing and industry, the National Industrial Corridor Development Program has been initiated by the Government of India. This ambitious initiative aims to establish state-of-the-art manufacturing corridors across the country. The NICDC, that is the National Industrial Corridor Program, is not just an infrastructure program, but it is a vision for new economic activity. The projects are designed to create world-class manufacturing hubs with integrated logistic facilities, modern transportation networks, and smart urban ecosystems. This initiative is part of India's Vision 2030, which envisages the country as a global manufacturing leader supported by robust logistics and infrastructure. Projects under NICDC are supported by favorable policies such as subsidies for infrastructure development and utilities. For German companies, this initiative offers a golden opportunity to leverage their expertise in engineering, sustainability, and smart technology. Some of the key projects under the NICDC are the Delhi-Mumbai Industrial Corridor, the upcoming Bangalore-Chennai Industrial Corridor, and the Eastern Peripheral Expressway. These corridors aim to connect India's industrial hubs with ports. The interconnected infrastructure will reduce transport times, facilitate trade, and enhance manufacturing capacity. It is our expectation that the development of these industrial corridors will unlock previously underutilized regions and provide business with access to new markets. Friends, the NICDC also adopts a public-private partnership model, inviting private companies to collaborate in developing and managing infrastructure projects. German companies, with their unmatched expertise and experience in designing and building smart cities, creating efficient transportation systems, and deploying advanced manufacturing technologies, are ideally positioned to play a pivotal role in this new initiative. And I invite German companies to take part. An essential feature of the NICDC is the focus on sustainability. The program places high priority on developing environmentally friendly growth by integrating renewable energy solutions into infrastructure projects. For example, NICDC incorporates solar, wind, and hybrid energy systems to reduce dependence on fossil fuels. India's commitment to achieving 50% non-fossil fuel energy by 2030 further aligns with Germany's global leadership in green technologies. A critical aspect of NICDC is the development of integrated logistics parks and modern dry ports. These are designed to optimize supply chains and enhance manufacturing efficiency. These developments will directly benefit key industries such as automobiles, pharmaceuticals, chemicals, engineering equipment, and plastics, sectors where Germany has long-standing expertise. By leveraging this infrastructure, German companies can streamline operations, reduce costs, and increase productivity, thus gaining a competitive edge in the global marketplace. Friends, the NICDC program has received strong support from local state governments, and I see today several representatives from the state governments. Shri Rajat Kumar Saini, CEO of the National Industrial Corridor, Shri S.V. Shabde, Chairman and Managing Director from the Aurangabad Industrial City, and so on. This localized approach will foster a sense of ownership among stakeholders, thus ensuring the long-term success of these initiatives. To conclude, the NICDC offers a game-changing opportunity in reshaping India's manufacturing and industrial landscape. Its emphasis on sustainability, cutting-edge connectivity, and public-private collaboration makes it an attractive proposition for German investors. I do hope that German companies will actively engage with various aspects of the NICDC program and contribute to creating modern and superior infrastructure in India, thus laying the foundation for enhanced industrial capacity. By investing in India today, Germany would not just be positioning its companies for success, but would also be looking at a new destination and a possible center for future growth. Thank you very much to everyone for taking part and to everyone for listening in and joining our program today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your insightful and inspiring address. And we really greatly appreciate your time, especially considering that your schedule is, of course, very full, and the valuable perspectives you shared with us today. And we look forward to seeing you again soon. Now, normally it would have been Stefan Halusa's turn now, but as I understand, he's still traveling. So we will just squeeze him in at the end of the agenda. And instead, I would like to now introduce our next speaker, Shri Rajat Kumar Saini, CEO and Managing Director at the National Industrial Corridor Development Corporation. Shri Rajat Kumar Saini is an IAS officer of the 2007 batch of the Telangana cadre. He did his BTech from IIT Delhi and Masters in International Development from Harvard University. He assumed the charge of CEO and MD at the NICDC in July 2023. Before joining NICDC, he was holding the position of Director in the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. He has more than 17 years of work experience in senior positions of executive leadership across sectors like education, health, and poverty alleviation, to only name a few. Mr. Saini has been framing and executing policies and welfare programs at the state and local government level for many years now. Welcome, Mr. Saini. The virtual floor is all yours.
Thank you, Maya. I hope I am audible and clear.
Yes, you are.
And so, good morning, everyone, and thank you, Excellency, for giving an overall macro picture about India as well as about the National Industrial Corridor Development Program. As Ambassador Gupta told, the kind of infrastructure revolution that India has witnessed in last decade, and not just infrastructure, I should say, the kind of policy push ensuring ease of doing business, minimum logistics cost, and the impact is visible in the historical inflow of FDI in India. All this makes a very, very good business case for any investor to come and invest in India, and invest not just as a fund or something, but also invest to manufacture in India. So as part of this infrastructure revolution, an important part is the industrial infrastructure that has been created under National Industrial Corridor Development Program in India. I represent National Industrial Corridor Development Corporation. I am the CEO, which is under the overall umbrella of Ministry of Commerce and Industry. as Ambassador told, we build greenfield industrial smart cities. If I just tell you broadly, India has got more than 4,000 industrial parks, large and small. And these industrial parks contain almost all the manufacturing that is happening in India. Then industrial corridors in India, which in fact, if we can go to the next slide, things would be clearer. So as you can see on the map of India, the industrial corridors are earmarked. The industrial corridors are like from north to south, one particular corridor is doing. All these worms in different colors are basically industrial corridors. And along these industrial corridors is where most of India's manufacturing is happening. And it is this fact which led the federal government to start this program of National Industrial Corridor Development Program, so that we can improve the logistics and industrial climate along the whole corridor, and as well as we can build some industrial cities along the way which leverage this connectivity and logistics infrastructure. So though a whole lot of manufacturing is happening in these 4,000 odd industrial parks in India, under this National Industrial Corridor Development Program, what we are doing, we are building greenfield industrial smart cities, of which, so overall there are 20 such cities which are there, of which 4 are already complete and where industries are up and running. After once I finish, we have CEO from a particular company who have established their unit in a particular city, and he will tell his experience about how he started over there and the kind of procedures, or rather the lack of procedures, as in the ease of procedures he witnessed. So 4 are under construction, and going by the success of these projects, Government of India just 2-3 months back approved 12 new industrial smart cities. These industrial smart cities are not just industrial areas, but they also act a kind of hub, industrial hub, through which spokes of various other industrial parks which are supported or built by our states are there. So this is kind of a hub which is created by the federal government, and the spokes through this, in a hub and spoke model, spokes are connected to the various state developed industrial parks. In one of our industrial city, it is the first and only semiconductor city of India, where the semiconductor fab plant of India is coming. There are more, and one in almost each region of India. Can we go to the next slide? These are just some of the snapshots. The top left one is called Dholera, which is in the western region of India, in Gujarat, where we are building the semiconductor plant. Then there is one in central India. This big, beautiful building that you are seeing with made of glass, this is in western India. And this is from this area where Mr. Shabde is representing. Then we have one very close to NCR in Greater Noida. Next slide. These are just some more pics of the kind of development, the kind of facilities that we develop. We develop obviously roads, water conservation system, power, central effluent treatment plants, water treatment plant, sewage treatment plant. We also have the central command and control center, overall telecom connectivity to ensure that Industry 4.0 elements are also embedded into it. And we have got more than 300 units are up, are there, the land is allotted to around 400 plots, more than 100 units are up and running, and many more are under construction. There are many multinationals, whether from Korea, Japan, USA, Taiwan, etc., etc. Next. These are some of the features that are there in our industrial smart cities. Plug-and-play infrastructure, yes, it is generally there in other industrial areas also. But this potable and recycled water supply, reliable 24 hours power supply with redundancy, which is generally an ask from the industry. Central effluent treatment plants, multimodal connectivity, as these are part of the industrial corridors, we ensure that this multimodal connectivity is there. I'll just give you a small example. When the fab plant, where the semiconductor fab is coming, we are also building an airport over there to ensure that all the equipments, as well as the final eventual production, can be transported all across the world, even through a aerologistics hub. These are full-fledged cities where we expect not just the industry, but also the residential areas to come up. This project level environmental clearance have already been taken in advance. This helps to cut through the multiple procedures. So each and every unit that comes in our cities, they need not take environmental clearance. Everything is single window clearance. These projects are collaborative effort of the federal government and the state government. So there is a single window clearance. There is electronic land management system. Everything is processed online. There are other facilities like telecom network, gas pipeline, etc., already there. And being greenfield smart cities, a lot of the legacy issues which we face, which any investor faces in other places while setting up their units, they are generally not there in our cities. Can we go to the next slide, please? I would just take your attention to the last column, last column, fourth row. We have already had investment of around 20 billion. Committed investment by the various industries that have come over there. And also I would like to take your attention to the third row, which gives the industrial land rates. And this is not raw land, but this is already developed land with all utilities. The land rates are as low as $25 per square meter. And even in places close to Delhi, you can see it is just $270 per square meter. So this is fully developed land with all kind of industrial infrastructure, with all utilities, which is available for various industries, manufacturing units essentially, to come and set up their units. And can we go to the next slide? This is the last slide where these are the focus sectors for which we are inviting investment in our industrial cities: semiconductors, aerospace, green hydrogen, electronics, auto components, pharma, solar, heavy engineering, robotics, textile, food processing, and IT-enabled systems. So just to conclude, we are building greenfield industrial smart cities with all industrial infrastructure of global standards for manufacturing, and we invite the German companies, not just large corporations, but SMEs, to come and invest, come and manufacture in our industrial smart cities, which have the not just infrastructure, internal infrastructure, but also logistic connectivity to ensure minimum logistics cost. Already the relationship between the two countries is very strong. There are a significant presence of German companies more than 1,700 German companies are already there. Almost all the big names are there. I think that the time has come now for even for the SMEs to come and manufacture in India. And NICDC, along with the mission, our Indian mission in Germany, and with Invest India, I think we can be partners. We can ease your journey of transition of investing in India. Any kind of hand holding that is needed, any kind of support in your initial for finding out the places where to invest, for find even to the extent of finding out the local partners, and our team at NICDC is ready to do so. And I can assure that all the normal hiccups which sometimes people anticipate while setting up their units in India are not there in NICDC cities, because federal government as well as the state government have devolved their powers on the local city administration. These cities are run in a corporate manner. For running every city, a special purpose vehicle, a company is made, and that company is manned by professionals who run these cities. And all the processes, starting from land allotment to setting up their unit in these cities, is truly a single window and experience, and you don't need to contact any other authority to while you are setting up your units. So this is all from my side. And another point that Ambassador Gupta said, that we are also willing to explore master developer model, where the master developers of industrial parks can come and collaborate with us and develop such industrial areas on PPP basis. If there are any such developers who are present over there today, or are interested and have shown interest earlier, we would be happy to explore even for the development of industrial parks in collaboration with them. And thank you again, everyone, for listening to us. And over to you, Mike.
Thank you so much, Mr. Saini, also for these, really positive and very true words in the end that you have mentioned. Like, the relationship is very strong already, and it is growing stronger, absolutely. And I'll get back to that later, because we have actually received a lot of questions regarding NICDC projects during the registration process. So there seems to be, demand and people being interested. So getting back to that later, let's hold on to that thought. But first of all, it is my pleasure to now introduce Mr. S.V. Shabde, a highly respected expert in the field of oriented films and plastics. With a distinguished career spanning 5 decades, he has made significant contributions to the industry. Mr. Shabde holds a master's degree in chemical engineering and currently serves as the chairman and managing director of Kodal Films Private Limited, which is located in Aurangabad Industrial City, which is one of India's first greenfield smart cities, planned across an area of 10,000 acres in the state of Maharashtra, so not far from where I'm sitting right now. And without further ado, I'll hand over the virtual mic to you, Mr. Shabde, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon. My greetings to His Excellency Mr. Gupta and Sri Rajat Kumar. I am a satisfied customer of NICDC. I acquired land in 2018. So before that, I tell you a brief background of my company. Kodal Films is engaged in manufacture of various coated films, including extrusion coated films. And this is an Indo-American venture. A part of the equity of Kodal is held by an American company. And largely export oriented. We export about $1 million worth of goods every month to various parts of the country. We export about $100,000 worth of goods every month to Germany. And we also export to USA, Russia, Ukraine, Eastern Europe, mainland Europe, UK, to the Middle East. And now I come to NICDC. In 2018, when I wanted to put up this unit, I approached the ORIC officials. They showed me what lands were available. I selected a piece of land and I made an online application. I got an invitation for land from Land Allotment Committee. I gave a small presentation to them, and then I received the allotment letter on mail. No, I did not have to contact anybody, any official. I did not have to do any lobbying. The land allotment letter came on my mail on a holiday. So it was, see, I've been working in India for 50 years and largely operating in the industrial parks of Maharashtra. This was a pleasant surprise dealing with NICDC. Now the process for approval of your building plans is also automated. You submit the, in the olden days when I was working here, you had to submit 5 copies of your plans, elevations, etc. to the office physically, then have several meetings till the drawings are approved. In case of Auric City, you just upload your drawing on the website. The website tells you where you're wrong, you make those corrections, and you get an automatic approval of plans. It's a wonderful industrial park. My American partners are happy with this, and I have traveled around the world. I think this is comparable to any industrial park in the world. Nice spacious road, good lighting, 24-hour water supply, and the most important thing is very reliable 24/7 power. No power trippings, no unannounced power trippings. If there are going to be any shutdowns, they inform everybody in advance. The other major advantage of this area is that you get skilled manpower. You get engineers, finance executives, logistic executives, skilled workers, unskilled workers, very, very easy. Then, because I'm so much dependent on export, I'm worried about transportation. So there are 2 dry ports within 40 kilometers of my factory, and there is Nhava Sheva located 350 kilometers from my factory. So if I load the container now and send it to Nhava Sheva, it will be gated in tomorrow morning. So overall, I am extremely satisfied with my decision of having put up this industry in Auric City. And it's a pleasure working with the executives of Auric. They are like corporate people. They are not the typical government employees one would expect. No red tapeism. When it comes to India, most people are worried about red tapeism. There is no red tapeism here. And people go out of their way to resolve your issues. And I guess that's all. I'm extremely satisfied customer of NICDC.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shabdi. And of course, always happy to hear, I guess, that you're satisfied and happy. I would now, I think Mr. Haluza is yet to join. Yes, so in that case, I think we will move on to the question and answer session. And then later, if Mr. Haluza manages to join, we can still squeeze him in because we have received a lot of questions and questions are coming in right now as well. Of course, we encourage you to ask whatever questions you may have as and how the Q&A session goes. And I will start with the first question, which we have just received. The question is, and I have to come a little closer because my eyesight doesn't seem to be so good anymore. What are the kind of land development models that these NICDC greenfield cities are adopting or will adopt for 12 newly approved greenfield cities. I hope that was understandable, otherwise I'll happily repeat it.
What I understood is that you want to ask the various land development models that NICDC is going to adopt. Is that correct?
That's right.
Yes. So one is the traditional way of doing it, through which we have built our cities till now, which is basically uh, out of the huge planned city that is going to come up, particular core area, we develop it on EPC basis, totally with government grant. So what happens is we build the normal DPR, a detailed project report, and then based on that, we put EPC contractors who build all these utilities, whether that is CETP, WTP, STP, roads, power line, telecom connectivity, stormwater drainage, administrative command and control center, etc., etc. And then once that core area is developed, some industries start coming up over there. Then we develop the remaining undeveloped area through this money. And in that development, we also sometimes partner with the private master developers who can come and participate with us. So, and our experience has been very positive till now. The kind of infrastructure through our EPC contractors we have been able to build. You saw a testimonial by Mr. Shapte, and there are many more such satisfied industrialists. And the reason that the India's first semiconductor fab is coming in one of our cities is because that is the kind of infrastructure we have been able to create. So our model till what we develop is largely a EPC contractor based construction, and the expansion which is in the subsequent phases, there we are open to any kind of model, including getting master developers, getting PPP, developing utilities on PPP, etc., etc.
Thank you very much. I hope that question has been answered. Otherwise, I would encourage the person that asked the question to just, give us a follow-up question. One more question that came up, especially during the registration process, is what manufacturing sectors are expected to flourish in the next 18 to 24 months? Do you happen to know something about that?
Could you please repeat? What I understood is what kind of sectors are expected to flourish?
That's right. So someone has asked what manufacturing sectors are expected to flourish in the next, and they gave a timeline, 18 to 24 months.
Well, a difficult question for me to answer.
If you have an inkling, otherwise we can also.
As of now, if we see the landscape in India as of now, we can see different sectors. So almost all the sectors are flourishing in India at some place or other. So there is green hydrogen coming, there is solar power coming, there is textile garment apparel, there is semiconductor, there is auto sector, leather, footwear, chemicals, traditional manufacturing. India has now become a net exporter of mobile phones also. And I think after China, it is the biggest, India is the place where most of the Apple iPhones are manufactured. So if you talk about India as a whole, the traditional sectors as well as the upcoming sectors. So in India, you will find almost all the sectors that are possible. The manufacturing is going on. It is the other way around. If a particular industry, if a particular investor has a distinct interest in a particular sector, then they can come and find their local partner, find the land and location suitable for their business.
Mm-hmm. So basically,
if I may jump in.
Yes, please, Mr. Shakti. Absolutely.
If I may jump in, 18 to 24 months timeline, there are 2 or 3 big two-wheeler and four-wheeler manufacturers coming in Aurangabad. So auto components could be a very good area to explore.
Definitely, yeah. And when Mr. Shabda is saying about two-wheeler and four-wheeler, and there is a whole lot of electric vehicle ecosystem that is coming in Aurangabad. So two-wheeler, four-wheeler, electric vehicle, batteries. So there is a space for everyone coming from whatever sector.
Yeah, I'm just trying to navigate questions at the same time. Okay, one question which again we have received, and where I thought, because you have just been mentioning green hydrogen, generally, you know, renewables and all of that. So I thought maybe now is a good time to put in this question. The question is, and I just take it slowly here, how can sustainable energy solutions like renewables and energy efficiency support the growth of India's NICD and smart cities? You can repeat it once.
Very
I know
long question.
that's the problem. People always have a lot of thoughts and a lot of, you know, questions, and then they just keep putting everything into very long sentences, which is usually a very German thing, but I think this is not exclusively reserved.
What I can say, not just from NICDC perspective, one, in NICDC cities also we are trying to facilitate adoption of green energy, number one. Number two, in 1 or 2 cities, there is a lot of solar power production. Number three, India as a country is committed to these climate goals, and through our national grid, clean and green energy any industry can buy. And that is how we are promoting, because this green energy is produced in certain pockets of India, and through national grid it is available at multiple places. So, and I think that is all as far as the sustainability. And if you the energy part is concerned, if we talk about water, there are utilities like CTP. We are also working to have ZLDs being installed in some of our cities where there is requirement. So there is zero liquid discharge. So these elements are already built into our cities, the initial planning itself, so that the sustainability of the future manufacturers, future industries is ensured.
Thank you very much. I hope that answered the question. It certainly answered mine. Another question we have received. Now, this is a slightly shorter one. Let's see whether the answer is also going to be short or longer. In the greenfield area, is land allocation based on sale or on a lease model? And if yes, what is the time frame?
Oh, interesting. So till now, so we give a long-term lease. We give 99-year lease to the companies. What we are also trying now to build in a short-term leases, let's say 10-year lease or a 7-year lease. Below 7 year, it's difficult. But we are trying to build in models where if someone does not want a 99-year lease, and so if someone does not want to make a huge upfront investment, we're trying to have flexible lease periods for those industry, for those investors. So yes, it's a lease model. It's a long-term lease. We are trying to build in, and it is a very within, I think within next 6 to 8 months, we will be having policies for flexible leasing model, and also some exit policies we will have. Let's say you have taken the land, but somehow things are not working out. So there should be a good exit policy. That also we are working upon.
Understood. Okay. Then I'm coming back to the first question that I have asked, because I think the person that asked the question had maybe intended something different. So I'll try again and let's see whether this makes sense. So this person asked, my first question was, what could be a land development model, in brackets, land acquisition based model, or land pooling, or land readjustment model? Is that clearer, or should we skip this one?
Generally acquired first. So we are also like a curtain. So the land acquisition part of it is taken care of by us and the respective state government. Investor need not worry about that. Once the land is acquired and then the development is done, the initial core area development is again done by us. All the permissions are taken by us, all the clearances are taken by us, all the external infrastructure with respect to connectivity, road, power also is taken care of by us. Once we have developed the core and acquired all the land, then after that the future expansion, there we can involve the private sector, master developers, etc., to take that development ahead. I think in the meantime, Stephen Halusa has also joined. I can see his name on the screen. Would you like to bring him now?
Yes, I was about to say the same. I think, for now, let's just, as I promised, squeeze in Stefan Halusa, and then we can see where the other questions come up. And in the meantime, I can also sort the questions out a little bit, because doing everything at the same time gets a little tedious sometimes. So, Stefan, if you can hear us. I think you're still muted if you're here. At least that's what I can see.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Wonderful. Hello. Hi, Bud. Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes, sorry for the delay. First there was horrible traffic, and then somehow my telephone decided not.
No problem at all. It's just that right now I think your voice is gone again.
His voice is gone. Maybe you can take one more question, one or two more questions, okay, and in the time his connection stabilizes.
Sure, not a problem. I like how we're going with the flow here. Okay, there was one super long question, which I would just ask the person that asked that question to please maybe just reach out to NICDC directly or to us, and I'll happily direct the question, because it was a very good and very long and very friendly one. But I feel like that'll, be a little too much right now. Now, one more question that I wanted to ask, because that, of course, is also something we should talk about and which comes up a lot in questions, is the question of challenges. Now, someone has asked, what challenges do manufacturing firms face when they enter India for the first time, maybe also from an NICDC perspective, just to kind of, balance things out a little as well, because we all know wherever you go, whether you go to Germany, whether you go to India, there's always some challenges that you will be facing. So if you would like to share some.
I will obviously say very good things. But
no challenges at all.
So first I will start, and I would request Mr. Shabde's intervention at some point of time. So the bit that I would like to answer, if you come to India, maybe first thing for a foreign investor to come and set up their unit, one is, if you are looking for a local partner, then finding that local partner is a challenge. Identifying the location where you want to set up is a challenge. Identifying the industrial area, getting various permissions to build and to run your company is a challenge. Earlier, maybe 15 years earlier, even incorporating a company or getting the foreign investment across the border was also a challenge. Those things have eased out a lot. These are the challenges that I can think of. Now over to Mr. Shabde. You may please enlighten us what an investor faces when they want to open a industry.
You have more or less listed them. When you come here from different country, there are a lot of compliances that are needed. Like you need to have your GST number, you need to have your income PAN card, you need to have your various kinds of industrial regime, which are outside the domain of the industrial park. Well, you have to register with the government of India at many platforms like GST, income tax, registrar of companies. So all these compliances are sometimes we find cumbersome. I have interacted with some foreign companies here in Aurangabad. They come with a list of several compliances. Yes, those compliances are there, but that is a part of Government of India framework. And wherever you go in India, you will have to do that. And I guess the same may be required elsewhere in the world also, because you need to have a you need to be a registered entity with any government that you operate within. So those compliances are the only challenge, but there are many upsides to this, and that is availability of skilled labor. That is very, very important.
Absolutely. Well said. I mean, it's wherever you go, you will always face, these challenges or similar ones.
There was a second, sorry to interrupt you. There was a second part to this question, which was, where does NICDC fit in? A lot of those challenges you might not find in NICDC cities, whether it's related to environmental clearances, whether it's related to various local government permissions, whether it's related to release of various incentives and all. Those are some things which you would not encounter in NICDC cities, as they're supported by both state and federal government, and a lot of powers have been devolved onto our SPVs. So when Mr. Shabde, when he was telling about the kind of ease with which he could get his building permission, etc., he would not have had that experience if he was not in a NICDC city. Yeah, that is all.
You are right. You are right. Yeah, it was a pleasant surprise.
So should we check with Stephen now?
Yes.
Whether he's.
Stefan, can you hear us?
Seems he's still. There's a connection.
I mean, he's unmuted, so at least that seems to be working. But your connection, of course, when you're traveling, that can always be a bit of a hassle. By the way, it's worse in Germany.
No problem. So if there are any more questions we can ask, or otherwise we can conclude also. Yeah.
Let me check. So the long question was, I think, about recruitment, AI platforms. I think that's something we'll take up personally. One question that we have also received, and I think let's make this the final one, and then see whether Stefan Halusa can speak. And otherwise, I think we conclude and take whatever other questions come up individually. And here you'll have to help me out, because there's abbreviations that I don't understand and words that I probably can't pronounce properly. Oh, something is. Oh, hi. We can see you.
Yeah, we can see Stephen now.
See you, but we can't hear you.
I think he's sitting in plane.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
That is some serious dedication.
If Germany is so dedicated towards India, I'm sure we are going to see much more investment from Germany.
For sure. Still working? Yeah, I think the headset is the concern.
Yeah. So maybe we can have, I don't know, we can wait for a few more seconds. Maybe you can conclude if you want.
Oh, now he's completely, Wait 1 second. He's joining from the call now. That's let's give it one more chance, and otherwise let's conclude, I would say. Maybe because we're well in time, while Stefan Halusa is trying once more, I think we can. Okay, I think I start with, what I do is I start with my concluding words, okay, because the last 2 questions that we have received, I think that's something we can even just, you know, take up individually. If Stefan Halusa manages to join last minute, then we're happy to hear him even after the concluding words, so no worries there. You know, happy to adjust. In the meantime, I would like to thank everyone for joining us for this webinar today. We hope you found it informative and engaging, and we understand that your time is valuable, and of course we appreciate that you chose to spend it with us. If you have any further questions or comments, please don't hesitate to reach out to either to the MIIM program or to our speakers, and we'll be happy to continue the conversation and provide any additional information you may need, especially of course on NICDC. I would also like to quickly take this opportunity and invite you to 2 events. One event is taking place in Munich tomorrow. So that's one for those people who are, you know, in German we say kurzentschlossene, so people who are very spontaneous. You'll find the information about Make in India meets Munich manufacturing opportunities for the Mittelstand on our LinkedIn account. Alternative, you can just drop me a message on email and I'll share the details straight away. Furthermore, we have our annual MIIM event coming up, the so-called Exchange Platform, which will take place on the 6th of February at the Indian Embassy in Berlin. And we really look forward to seeing many of you there and encourage you to join us, not only because of the amazing Indian food, but also because of all the relevant insights you gain there and the connections you'll make during the networking session. For more information, feel free to either send us an email or again, take a look at our Make in India Mittelstand LinkedIn handle. All the information is there. Last but not least, I would like to thank our speakers, His Excellency Ajit Gupte, Mr. Stefan Halusa, I'm sorry, I think that didn't work out, but next time for sure, Shri Rajat Kumar Saini, and Mr. Sadanand Vasan Chapte, as well as the Embassy of India, the NICDC, the Indo-German Chamber of Commerce, and Rödel & Partner for the support. Thank you, dear attendees, for your patient listening, and we look forward to connecting with you soon. Until then, and as always, stay safe and stay healthy. And I'm sorry it didn't work out with you, Mr. Halusa, but we'll make sure that next time we somehow manage to hear from you.
Absolutely.
Would have loved to hear from you today. Very sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
No worries at all. I think now you probably have to switch off your phone very soon, right? Within the next couple of seconds.
Well, I don't know. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, yeah.
That's wonderful. So again, then at least I can apologize to everyone for not being able to join any earlier, because I could hear you most of the time, but I was unfortunately not able to get through.
No worries at all. It's absolutely fine. Maybe there was some technical issue or something. But yeah, let's make this happen next time.
I'm very much looking forward.
Same here. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye. Jesse, you can.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.